Hello out there in the teacher world, or soon to be teacher world. This is Mariposa coming to you with what she hopes is her last Target back to school teacher haul video. I feel like it's not even my choice for it to be my last, although I also feel pretty well stocked for the beginning of the year. Most of these hauls, if you've been watching the ones prior, are focused on setting myself up from now to, well, September to November. But I'm noticing in the last week that I've been at Target, the shipments in of the back to school stuff are starting to dwindle. And I'm noticing remnants of things that I obviously must have missed over the last several weeks that I've been going. But I'm noticing fewer and fewer things are being restocked. That's essentially what I'm trying to say. So if you're inspired by this video to go out and get stuff, I would highly recommend that you do it soon. Because my gut is within the next week and a half, it's going to be all autumn and Halloween. I'm not even kidding. By the beginning of August, because I was also speaking to a manager today and she was like, no, beginning of August, essentially we'll have out our fall things. Fall to me is code in Target for Halloween. Okay, so that'll be fun to see. But anyhow, so let's dive in and take a look at what you can still pick up at Target. So I picked up these signs in the words read, inspire, it's beautiful lime green, create, this hot lovely pink, and this pastel blue which says learn. The learn, inspire, and read signs are going to be in the classroom. I usually don't do decorative things, but I noticed many of my colleagues started the year off with decorative things in their classrooms. Usually in September, you don't put everything out, but the skeleton of your classroom is set up. So it's okay to have out a couple of things that are not instructionally or directly instructionally relevant. And I think I'm going to follow suit. This one is staying at home, and that will hopefully remind me to remember to create. The other thing that I picked up is this bag, and it has an adorable little apple. It's a tote bag. This was $3, and so were all of the signs. My plan is to use this to do an activity called a book in a bag, and that's essentially where I put a notebook, some crayons, some markers, and 1 to 3 books in the bag, and in lieu of the regular homework assignment, the children will read the book with their families or books and then do some kind of book response. We'll talk more about that activity at a later video, so stay tuned for more. I was also psyched to finally get my hands on the cute red apple with the cork top. I thought that was adorable. And the bus. These are going to be door signs. I'm just going to use the stick-on or rub-on letters, and I'm thinking my name and my student teacher or paraprofessional's name will go on both. I had been in the market for a really decent sight word set. I was not happy with the ones that were in the dollar spot. I felt like the words were went from, like you had a few that you might be teaching the kids at the beginning of the year, and then most of them were focused on later in the year words. And this haul was really focused on me setting myself up for September through November. So I liked the set in here, and these could very well be used for me to post on my sight word wall. I can use them for centers. I haven't quite decided how they're going to be used. They'll probably be used in both ways. In both ways. I'll introduce them using the card to the class, whole group. They'll work with the word in small group, and then finally they'll be placed onto our word wall, our sight word wall. Had to get some paper tape, and seeing as how I waited until the bitter end for this is all that was left. I don't know how I missed these. I think I did. But here we have, these were also 3 stamp sets, and I would use these to respond to my students' work in class and also their homework. Thought these looked fun. By the way, this was not a dollar spot item. Everything else was. So everything else I just showed you was $1 or $3. This was $2.50, and it was in the teacher section, which is next to the back to school section towards the back of the store or the middle of the store, depending on your target, for parents and students to get their supplies. I picked up these. Oh my goodness, I was so psyched. First of all, they're adorable, but then I was also thinking about how this would help me organize my paperwork throughout the week. I finally got my hands on this set. This is Count and Match, and I actually opened up the box. I was just curious about the quality of the cards, which are super, they look really good. They look really good. So the children will actually count how many are in the objects are in the picture and then match the number. I picked up these, which are basically wood clips with the letters underneath. This is not something I'm going to use myself. This will definitely be part of a reading center or small group work. And again, stay tuned to see how that's going to be used. I always seem to lose these, so I just got myself a backup set because I can never at the end of the year. I pack them up nice and neat, and I can never find them at the beginning of the year. So these are my pocket cards, and to make them reusable, I'm going to laminate them. I like using these with small children because they don't necessarily pay attention to the time, although some kids are adept enough with their sense of time to figure it out. So they start using this to identify, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. But mostly because they just get a sense of the flow of the day, and it helps them to know what's coming next, and that makes them feel secure. I picked up this pencil banner kit. I usually label my centers, or my areas, not centers. I apologize. With, oh, I'm about to sneeze, sorry. Excuse me. Hope that didn't make you too dizzy. I picked up, so this is usually what I use. Some kind of banner is what I use to label my areas. So my reading area, where the reading centers are labeled. My math area, where the math materials and math center are, is labeled. The library is labeled. Science and social studies, etc. And I like using these banners. So this is probably going to be math, because there's only 6 parts to it. So I'm thinking M-A-T-H, and then on either side will be math symbols. Another decorative item that I was not planning on getting, but couldn't resist, is this alphabet banner. I actually touched it because I was thinking about using it, it's a bulletin board border, to get, to use as a center. I was thinking I could cut them apart, which I might do because I got 2. But actually, I think they're probably just going to be used to outline my word wall. Okay, folks, and we're not finished. There is this entire container over here that I'm going to start going through. So here are some felt letters. This was going to serve as the letters for the word wall, or one of my word walls. I found these, and I know that I hold a different pattern or design, but I like the fact that these say, "Hi, my name is." So I only found 1 pack, unfortunately, but I'm going to use these as the name tags for the beginning of the year, and the other ones that you saw in an earlier video as cubby labels. I couldn't believe that I missed this one. This is the same idea with the wooden alphabet clips, but this one is numbers. Haven't quite decided what I do with the ones on the bottom, but I love the fact that there are, there's the different, the plus sign, mathematical symbols. So those will come in handy, and this will probably, again, be some kind of center that the children use. Here's another banner. This one is self-explanatory though. It is going to be my reading area label. I didn't originally pick up the alphabet sticker books. Or maybe I did. I've got to double check that. But again, this set is going to be used to create games and activities. And they're really, really cute. I like the graphics, and they're clear. Not all of the stuff that I saw had very clear graphics, so this is why I didn't get it all. Okay, when I first started going to the dollar spot, I didn't see this, but this is a number sentence board, and I only picked up 2 of these. These are $3. I'm going to use this in small group instruction. So I would either have a child or the children make a number sentence and we discuss it together. I would use this for modeling. The second one would be for anybody else working in my group who is working with a small group as well. I picked up some magnetic alphabets, or the magnetic alphabet set, and that is going to be a center. I can't remember if my room has a magnetic surface, but I can always just make one. This is a set of incentive charts. I debated over getting this, and then I decided to get it because I like using these with individual students. So once you've introduced your discipline plan, your management plan at the beginning of the year, most kids fall into play by late October, November. If I have some outliers, this is where this comes into play, and that's usually when I have a meeting with the parents, and the parents are informed about how this is going to be used. So again, please come back to hear more about that. Here's another stamp. I like this one because it had the sign and return. I picked up this Ready Set ABC flashcards. Again, I thought the graphics were really clear. And these will probably be used in small group. So I'm going to create a video where I talk about my small group setup and how I put together my small group kit. This is another one that's going to be either a center or small group, used in small groups. So this will be part of my kit. So much stuff. I decided, in keeping with the idea of creating games and activities, that I'd pick up this set of chalkboard blocks, which I would use silver or white permanent marker on. And there, somewhere in here is another set, and those are colored. Another decorative piece I picked up was just this apple that says "Live, Love, Teach." That will probably go in the hallway or on the door. I am a crafter, so when I'm in the dollar spot, I'm always on the lookout for craft items. So I picked up these ink pads, not just for the classroom, and that's a set of red, blue, and black. Here's a set of purple, lime, and pink. And these are all colors I don't have. And then there's a set of red, orange, and yellow. These are all 3. But also just for me to use myself as a crafter. This was $1, and again, in keeping with the idea that I'm going to be using banners to label my areas, I picked up 2 packets of those. I thought it might be helpful when we do our weather study to have something that the children can actually interact with. So, because sometimes you don't always have them touching especially at the beginning of the year, the calendar portions. So I picked up this felt weather spinner. That was only $1. I also picked up this felt counting pizza. I thought it was adorable. This will help with counting and numeracy. I, again, don't know how I missed these, but this is specifically a sticker book for your planner. And if you saw my Erin Condren video, you know that I I'm going to be trying that out this year. So here's what these look like. Yeah, I was stoked about that one. Since I bought all those bins, I figured it might not be such a bad idea to get some blank labels for them. So I picked up 6 of those. These are dry erase labels, but that's not how I'm going to use them. Again, in keeping with the banner notion, I'm going to be using these to create one of my area labels. Could not believe this one, and this one was $1. So here you have, you know, your word of the day focus. But what I loved about this, and I'm hoping you can see it, here we go, is then there are other bulletin board rectangles that allow you to use the word in a sentence, or allow the kids to count how many letters there are, to write the definition, to write the word of the day. Even if you are an upper grade teacher, this was an amazing find. I mean, I'd use this in 2nd, 3rd, 4th through 5th. Number of syllables, how many vowels, a synonym, and something it rhymes with. For kindergarten, I'm going to use the rhymes with, the sentence, the how many letters, and the definition. This was just cuteness. I had been eyeing it every single time I went, so I decided to pick them up. Same thing here. And this will be used just to organize paperwork. Here's that second banner set. I figured since I had, again, all those bins, I would need labels to label them with. So here's some adhesive label pocket squares, and I like the fact that you can adhere these and the label goes inside, because that means they're reusable from year to year. Again, could not believe I missed this one. Here's a magnetic list pad. I was behaved. I only got one, but I will definitely hang this in the classroom. It'll be great for me to use to help myself remember things I need to do for the classroom at home, or to allow me to put things in my planner so that, you know, I don't forget to do them. Here is a smaller, well, actually I hadn't picked up an alphabet chart. Now this for me is too small to put into, and this is only $1, into the classroom, you know, up where the kids can see it. But I've been thinking about alphabet charts in general since last year, and thinking that really I feel like I should have more than one. I should have one that's closer down to where the children are, that's accessible. This is what it looks like. And then one that, you know, your larger one that they can see from anywhere in the room. Again, this can be used as a center. I'm not sure yet. I thought this was a really cute counting activity. So for each card, they have to actually place the, I guess those pom-poms are supposed to be sprinkles. Yeah, but or candy on the ice cream cone. Too cute. Okay, so I picked up 12 of these. Believe it or not, these are only $1. Now, these are lap boards, and they come with the pencil, but they're also, they've got the lined aspect in the back, which I thought was so cool. Again, this will be used in small group, or it will be used in, yeah, in small group instruction. The remaining things, essentially -1, are decorative. So they're, you know, here's this, I'm going to put this up for shapes. Again, only $1. Colors, I love the fact that they were in like color pencils. I thought that was so cute. And it even covers gray and white and black. You don't always see that. I figured since in kindergarten we're going to be focusing a lot on names, this could be used as a name graph, or I could just use these decals to do all of the stuff that I'm going to do with names. Thought that was awesome. And then I found one of the, I don't have this one, but I found a beginning sounds workbook, and I thought this would be great when we're doing letter sounds for them to both write the letters and then, you know, obviously identify which picture begins with that sound. So this is the colored version of the blocks, which I'm going to be using to create more instructional games with. And the last thing that I'm going to share that I picked up from the section, not in the dollar spot, there's a teacher section usually next to where the school supplies for students are. This was $10. I love Scholastic, so I was psyched to see that it was a Scholastic produced workbook. It's a wipe clean workbook, and the focus is on colors, numbers, and letters, as you can see from the cover. But I thought that I would just walk you through a couple of pages because I really like the structure. So, for example, this child will form, it shows you how to form the letters, but then I like the fact that it also shows you pictures that begin with that letter. And then a lot of young children struggle. The reason why they struggle with the formation of letters is because they haven't really mastered the basic strokes to make that letter. So this reinforces that by having them, if you can imagine, this is an upside down L. Here's a regular L. You know what I mean? So they're actually making the strokes, not purposefully, but practicing the strokes in a fun way by like drawing the outline of the castle. And then they go back to forming the letters again. I thought that was cool. I thought that was nice. So there's that kind of a setup for every single letter. They're grouped, which I'm not crazy about, but that's okay. I mean, I can work with it. This is not a book that I would use to introduce letters. I would probably use this, or my thinking is I'm going to use this as reinforcement or reteaching, and it will probably be used in a small group sense, and I will use it for individual students. So it'll be used for differentiation. Here they get to do word identification. Here they're looking for upper and lowercase letters. Here's what the shape page looks like. So again, they're identifying that particular shape and then forming it as well. And just to give you a sense of what they're doing with numbers. Here we go. And then here's one that's for numbers. So again, they're asked to count the numbers, trace them, count, trace that number, and then count that number as well as trace it. Okay, so as always, my friends, thank you so much for watching. This one was a little bit longer than normal, and I hope you found, as always, something valuable in the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, because I will be coming back with more videos that tie all of this together and hopefully will help you in your own instructional experience. Have a fabulous day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.